Hi, hello, namaste students. How are you all? Today's topic is a great topic, very important from NEET point of view, that is called as thyroid gland disorders. Watch this video till the end. Okay students, very important from NEET point of view. In the previous session, we were discussing the thyroid gland, the structure and function. Now let's discuss the disorders of thyroid gland. If there is an over secretion and under secretion, it leads to the disorders. Under secretion or over secretion. This is less than normal, this is more than normal. Of which one? Thyroid hormones. The thyroid hormones called as T3 and T4. Triiodothyronine T3 and tetraiodothyronine T4, thyroxine. These are the thyroid hormones. If they are under secreted, there is a problem. If they are over secreted, there is a problem here. Okay, if there is an under secretion, that is called as hypothyroidism. Under secretion, there is called as a hypothyroidism, and over secretion, that is called as hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism. Hyper means over, abnormal, more than normal, and hypo means below the normal. Both are problems and leads to the thyroid gland disorders. So let's discuss first of all the hypothyroidism, then hyper. Okay students. So first of all, hypothyroidism. I'll write here. Okay. Hypothyroidism means under secretion of thyroid hormones. Okay, less than normal, below normal. That is called as under secretion of thyroid hormones here, T3 and T4 hormones, which leads to the hypothyroidism. Various manifestations are there. Different manifestations, let's discuss. One is, the first one is called as a simple goiter. Simple goiter. Simple goiter is nothing but also called as a endemic goiter. Endemic goiter. It's a very common disorder in India, especially in the backward regions, in the remote villages, because of the lack of iodized salt, lack of iodine in the diet, lack of iodine in the diet. That's the main reason for simple goiter. As you know, the T3 and T4 hormones, triiodothyronine and tetraiodothyronine, that's what called as iodothyronines. What are required here? Tyrosine is required, amino acid plus iodine is also required. If iodine is not there, these hormones can't be produced. If these hormones cannot be produced, what happens? There is a manifestation called as the simple goiter. Where is the gland present? In this secretion, isn't it? So, in this region, because of the lack of iodine in the diet, these hormones are not produced. If the hormones are not produced, there is a bulging, there is a swelling in the neck region. There is a bulging of this thyroid gland. So, it leads to the bulging of thyroid gland. Bulging of thyroid gland here. Because of this bulging, it appears as a awkward appearance is there, isn't it? In this region, there is an awkward appearance. This bulging of thyroid gland is called as a simple goiter or endemic goiter. Okay, students. And what are the symptoms of this one? First of all, the swelling, bulging of the thyroid gland, because of which the food can't be taken properly, because here the esophagus, that is interruption in swallowing, interruption in swallowing. of the foot. Interruption is swelling in the foot because here esophagus foot pipe is there. Because there is a bulging, there is an interruption to the swallowing of the food, isn't it? During the deglutition, the swallowing of the food. Okay. Next one, there is an interruption in breathing also, exchange of gases. Because here what is present? Trachea, the windpipe is there, through which we take oxygen and give out carbon dioxide, isn't it? So here the trachea is there because of the bulging, there is an interruption here also, and this manifestation is called as the simple goiter or endemic goiter. It happens because of the lack of iodine in the diet, especially in the salt. Okay students, there is a bulging of the thyroid gland. Okay students. So next one is the second point. The second this manifestation of hypothyroidism. The first one is called as simple goiter, we have discussed. The second manifestation is called as myxedema. Myxedema. Myxedema is also called as Gall's disease. Gall's disease. Myxedema is called as which one? Gall's disease. Edema. What is like edema? Edema means swelling. The swollen condition is called as a edema. Why there is an edema? Because of the accumulation of interstitial fluid. Accumulation of interstitial fluid. In the face. There is an accumulation, deposition of interstitial fluid in the face. So the face gets swollen. This is a normal face, for example, and it gets swollen. Why? Because of the accumulation, deposition of which one? Interstitial fluid in the face. So there is a puffiness in the face. Puffiness in the face. The face gets swollen. That's why it's called as myxedema. Edema means swelling. Why there is a edema or swelling? Because of the accumulation of the interstitial fluid in the face. That is the most important characteristic of this disorder. Okay, students. Next one. The patient observes severe intolerance to the cold. Intolerance to the cold. The patient observes severe intolerance to the cold. I'll write here. So myxedema, the second manifestation of hypothyroidism, also called as Gall's disease. Here edema or swelling is there. Why there is an edema or swelling? Because of the deposition, accumulation of the interstitial fluid in the face. So there is a puffiness in the face is there. Next one, the patient also faces the severe intolerance to the cold. Even severe fan is there here, the patient is suffering here. Isn't it? Severe intolerance to the cold, especially in the winters. And second one, next one is low body temperature. The patient also observes the low body temperature. The body temperature is always low. That's why there is a severe intolerance to the cold. Next one. Decrease of heartbeat. Decrease of heartbeat. Okay. Next one is rapid gain of weight. Rapid gain of body weight, etc. are the symptoms of myxedema, also called as Gall's disease, where there is an edema or swelling because of the accumulation of the interstitial fluid in the face, severe intolerance to the cold due to the decrease of low body temperature and decrease of heartbeat and rapid gain of body weight are the symptoms of myxedema. Okay, students. The first one we have discussed here, simple goiter. The second one is called as the myxedema. Now, third one. Let's discuss the third one. Myxedema is actually seen in the adults. Myxedema can be seen in the adults, especially among the women. Especially among the women. Next one, the third one is in the pregnants. In the pregnants, what happens? Let's discuss now. in the hypothyroidism in the pregnant ladies, pregnant women. Hypothyroidism in the pregnant woman. What happens? It's a severe disorder called as cretinism. Cretinism. What are the symptoms of cretinism? The developing fetus, developing baby is abnormal. What are the symptoms of cretinism? Let's discuss now. Symptoms of cretinism. First symptom is he is called as thyroid dwarf. Thyroid dwarf. What is the dwarf? In the pituitary gland disorder we have discussed pituitary dwarf. What is my pituitary dwarf? He is a Choduram we have discussed. This is a normal person. This is a Choduram Lamburam. Isn't it? We have discussed. This is normal. This is Choduram. Pituitary dwarf. Stunted growth in the children. Isn't it? The same way here. He is called as a thyroid dwarf. That is stunted growth. Stunted physical growth. So he is also a Choduram. Less than normal height. That is called as a thyroid dwarf. Here is called as a pituitary dwarf. This one is called as a thyroid dwarf. Stunted growth in the developing children. Because of the cretinism. That is one. Number two is severe impairment. That is mental retardation. Mental retardation. That is brain development. The mental faculties are not properly developed. The mental capacity, IQ, low IQ, and also low intellectual quotient. So his education capacity is not normal. The next one. Deaf and mute. Deaf and mute. And abnormal skin. Abnormal skin. So these are the different manifestations of a disease called as cretinism. What are the symptoms? One is a thyroid dwarf. That is, he is a dwarf. He is facing the dwarfism. The developing baby is not having the normal height. That is arrested physical development. He is physically a dwarf. Choduram. That is called as stunted physical growth. And the mental retardation, severe mental retardation is there. Mentally he is abnormal. The mental faculties are not developed properly. That is why low IQ, low intellectual quotient, and he is deaf and mute. He can't talk, he can't hear. And also skin is very abnormal. As this is different from which one? Pituitary dwarf. This is totally different from the pituitary dwarf. Let's compare the thyroid dwarf from pituitary dwarf. Okay, students. See, this is 1, for example, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay. And here is a pituitary dwarf. Let's discuss. Pituitary dwarf. In the pituitary dwarf also, the same thing here. That is, stunted physical growth is there. In the pituitary dwarfism also, just like the thyroid dwarfism, here the stunted physical growth, the arrested physical development is there. Choduram. The same way here, the pituitary dwarf also, there is a arrested physical growth. He is also a Choduram. But you see here, the second one is not there here. That is, the pituitary dwarf, the thyroid dwarf is severely mentally retarded with a low IQ. But the pituitary dwarf is absolutely normal. There is no mental retardation. There is no mental retardation, and his IQ is also normal. IQ is also normal. Next one is the thyroid dwarf is deaf and mute, whereas the pituitary dwarf is normal. He is normal. He is having, the thyroid dwarf is having the abnormal skin, but here normal skin. So what is the conclusion? In the pituitary dwarf, except the stunted physical growth, everything is normal, whereas in the thyroid dwarf, the stunted growth is there, mental retardation, deaf and mutism, and abnormal skin also there. So this is a serious manifestation. Thyroid dwarfism, that is cretinism, is a serious manifestation with a severe disorders than the pituitary dwarfism. That's the conclusion. And this happens because of the hypothyroidism in the pregnant ladies, pregnant women. Clear, students? The fourth manifestation of hypothyroidism in the females, if the females who are having the menstrual cycles, the female who is having the menses, irregular menstrual cycles, irregular menstrual cycles, irregular menstrual cycles is also a manifestation of hypothyroidism in the females, irregular menstrual cycles. That's also because of the hypothyroidism. And the last manifestation is the Hashimoto's disease. Hashimoto's disease. Of course, this is not given in NCERT, but very important. That's why I chose to explain here. This is not given in Hashimoto's disease. What is Hashimoto's disease? Let's explain here now. Okay. Before discussion of this one, let's have a small glance. I chose to explain here. This is society, and these are the members of society. Let's assume, and these are the policemen. Policemen. So these are police. These are members of society, ordinary civilians. This is a society, isn't it? What is the function of police? They have to protect the members, civilians. That is the duty of the police. But if the police are turning against the civilians, how it looks like? Who will protect the civilians? The same way. See here. This is our body. Okay, these are the different body organs. Different body organs. Body organs. And these ones are the antibodies. Antibodies. They are like policemen. And body organs are like which one? Members. Here, the members should be protected by police. But if the police are turning against this one, who will protect the members? The same case here. Actually, the body organs should be protected by antibodies, called as police here. But sometimes what happens, the antibodies are turning against the person's own body. This is a body, isn't it? Just like this is a society, this is a body. So the antibodies, sometimes what happens, they are supposed to protect, instead of protecting the body, they are turning against the body. These antibodies actually should fight against the antigens, foreign particles. But sometimes the antibodies, they turn against the body's own tissues. Body's own tissues, and that is called as an autoimmune disorder. What is this called as an autoimmune disorder? Autoimmune disorder. Where the person's antibodies are turning against his own body organs, treating these organs as antigens. That is a severe manifestation, and that is called as a Hashimoto's disease. Hashimoto's disease here. Here what happens means, the thyroid gland is destroyed by the inflammation. The thyroid gland is destroyed by the inflammation, swelling. So that is called as thyroiditis. Thyroiditis. Itis means which one? Inflammation. Thyroiditis, that is inflammation, severe inflammation of the thyroid gland. Because of the Hashimoto's disease, there is a thyroiditis, inflammation of thyroid gland. As a result, thyroid hormones are not released properly. Thyroid hormones are not released properly. What are thyroid hormones? T3 and T4 hormones are not released properly. It's a dangerous manifestation. Because these thyroid hormones are very much important for the human body for various metabolic functions. This one is perceived by which one? Understood by the TSH hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, which is released by which one? Anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Anterior lobe of the pituitary gland releases the thyroid stimulating hormone. And the thyroid stimulating hormone repeatedly stimulates which one? Thyroid gland. thyroid gland. Why? Because the hormones, thyroid hormones are not released. Why the thyroid hormones are not released? Because the thyroiditis, inflammation of the thyroid gland. Why there is a thyroiditis? Because of the Hashimoto's disease. Why there is an inflammation? Because the autoimmune disorder, here antibodies are turning against the which one? Thyroid gland and destroying the thyroid gland. Antibodies are turning against the thyroid gland and destroying the which one? And causing the inflammation of the thyroid gland. That is called as the thyroiditis, because of which the thyroid hormones are not released. As a result, understanding this position, critical position, the anterior pituitary releases the thyroid stimulating hormone. As a result, there is a severe stimulation of the thyroid gland and now releases the overproduction. You're following, all of you? Now releases which one? As a result, because of this one, over bulging here, over bulging of the thyroid gland here. Because if for example it is like this, but because of this over bulging, it becomes a which one? A form of goiter here. So over bulging, the swollen structure, a form of goiter is formed. That is called as a Hashimoto's disease. It is called as a autoimmune disorder. It's called as a autoimmune disorder here. Okay, students. So these were the 5 manifestations of which one? Hypothyroidism. We have been discussing hypothyroidism because of the under-secretion of the thyroid hormones. Now, what is the extreme opposite of this one? Over-secretion. The over-secretion causes which one? Hyperthyroidism. Hyper means over. Hyper-secretion of thyroid hormones causes the which one? Various disorders, manifestations. Let's get now discuss the hyperthyroidism. Okay, students. Now, hyperthyroidism, over-secretion of thyroid hormones T3 and T4. This happens. Why there is a hyperthyroidism? The many reasons are there, but it could be different types of cancers or lobule formation, lobules in thyroid gland. Thyroid gland, if it is having different types of cancers or different lobule formations, because of which there is a hyperthyroidism. Because of the hypothyroidism, there is an over-secretion of which one? T3 and T4 hormones. T3 and T4 hormones, because of which there is a hyperthyroidism here. It is also a serious manifestation, bacho. Okay. Because of the T3 and T4 hormones, overproduction means it's also an abnormality. Over-secretion is also an abnormality here. And different types of cancers or lobule formation in the thyroid gland leads to the hyperthyroidism. Okay, and because of which there is an overproduction of the T3 and T4 hormones here. Okay, students. One of the serious manifestation of this hyperthyroidism is called as the Graves' disease. What is this called as the Graves' disease? Graves' disease. Graves' disease is seen in the middle-aged people, but more common in females than males. Graves' disease is generally seen after 40 years, that is middle-aged people, but more common in females than males. 5 times more in females than males. Okay, students. Now, what are the symptoms of Graves' disease? How this happens? Let's discuss now. So, thyroid gland, for example, it contains the receptors. What are the receptors present here? TSH receptors. The receptor here is called as the TSH receptor. And this is the lobule of the thyroid gland, for example, thyroid gland lobule, and contains the follicular cells, follicles, etc. I am not drawing everything here. Only here, the receptor, just remember that the thyroid gland contains the receptors here for the TSH. That's why called as TSH receptor. The TSH stands for here, the thyroid stimulating hormone receptor. Which one is secreting the TSH hormone? Anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Anterior lobe of the pituitary gland. Anterior pituitary secretes the TSH. and released into the blood. Through the blood, the TH hormone is now binding with the receptor here. Where is the receptor? Present in the thyroid gland. As a result, the thyroid gland stimulated. Thyroid gland gets stimulated. The follicular cells get stimulated. As a result, they release the T3 and T4 hormones. But this is an autoimmune disorder now. What is an autoimmune disorder? Graves' disease is also an autoimmune disorder. Graves' disease is also an autoimmune disorder. I told you what is the autoimmune disorder just now, a few minutes back. The person's antibodies turn against the body organs. Instead of protection, the antibodies will turn against the person's own organs. That's called as an autoimmune disorder. The Graves' disease is also an autoimmune disorder. So here, actually the TSH receptor should be binding with which one? TSH hormone. So that there is a stimulation of the T3 and T4 hormones are released here. Because of the stimulation, T3 and T4 hormones are released to the blood and those are various normal body metabolic activities here. This is normal. But because, actually in this setup what happens, if the TSH hormone is overly released, as a result what happens? Instantly the hypothalamus, instead of releasing the thyrotrophin releasing hormone, it releases which one? Thyrotrophin inhibiting hormone. If the body requires the T3 and T4 hormones, what happens? The hypothalamus releases which one? Thyrotrophin releasing hormone. The thyrotrophin releasing hormone stimulates which one? Anterior pituitary, so that the TSH is released into the blood, so that through the blood the TSH is now binding with the which one? Receptor here. As a result, the thyroid gland gets stimulated. As a result, T3 and T4 hormones are released in the blood and those are various metabolic functions. This is normal. But if the T3 and T4 hormones are increasing in the body, there is a negative feedback regulation. There is a negative feedback regulation because the hypothalamus stops the releasing of which hormones? Thyrotrophin releasing hormone is stopped. And it releases which one? Thyrotrophin inhibiting hormone. Antagonistic hormone. Thyrotrophin inhibiting hormone, so that the TSH is not released, so that there is no binding with the receptor, so that these are not released here to the blood. Because metabolic functions are normal now. If oversecretion is there, it leads to the various abnormalities, isn't it? That's why hypothalamus goes for the negative feedback regulation. This is a normal setup. There is no problem. But in the autoimmune disorder, what is Graves' disease, what happens? The person's antibodies. See here, in the Graves' disease, the person's antibodies are binding with, see here, they're binding with the TSH receptors. Actually, this should be binding with which one? TSH hormone. But this is overactive here. Antibodies are released and they are binding with which one? TSH receptor. The thyroid gland thinks that it is a TSH hormone and starts releasing which one? T3 and T4 hormones. Because the thyroid gland don't know which are. It just thinks that TSH hormone is stimulating it. But actually what is that? Which one is stimulating actually? Antibodies are stimulating the thyroid gland by binding with the TSH receptor, isn't it? So it releases the T3 and T4 hormones oversecretion, and that's why it's a hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism because of the oversecretion of the T3 and T4 hormones. That's called as the Graves' disease, and that is an autoimmune disorder. Now, what is symptoms of Graves' disease? Let's discuss what are the symptoms of Graves' disease. The first one is surrounding eyes. Both the eyes, surrounding tissues gets swollen. And there is an edema. Special edema is observed here. Near the eyes and around the eyes, surrounding eyes, various tissues gets swollen and that is called as a special peculiar type of edema is seen surrounding the eyes, and the eyes become bulged. Eyes becomes bulged, severely bulged. Eyes become bulged. Bulge means swollen. If this is a normal eye, for example, the eyes become bulged like this here, and that is called as because of the edema, and this is called as exophthalmos. What is this called as? Exophthalmos. Exophthalmos. Ophthalmo. What is ophthalmo? Eyes. Ophthalmology. Eye specialist. Anything ophthalmo means related with the eyes. Ophthalmology like this. Exophthalmos. Why? Because the eyes become bulged, swollen. Okay, that is one of the first manifestation here. And the thyroid gland also becomes bulged. Why the thyroid gland? For example, this is a normal thyroid gland. It becomes bulged like this here. So here also a goiter is seen. This bulging is nothing but a goiter called as exophthalmic. That's why it's called as the exophthalmic goiter. Exophthalmic goiter. The other name of Graves' disease is exophthalmic goiter because exophthalmos is seen and the goiter symptoms are also seen. That's why Graves' disease is also called as which one? Exophthalmic goiter. Okay, students. And third one is the eyes become dual vision. That is, dual vision is seen, and sometimes loss of vision also. Loss of vision. These are the various symptoms of Graves' disease, also called as exophthalmic goiter. These are the various disorders under thyroid gland, either because of the hypersecretion, that is hyperthyroidism, or undersecretion, that is hypothyroidism. Till now we have been discussing. Hope you enjoyed my session, all of you. God bless you all, my students.